On Thursday this week, 17th November, something ugly happened in the North Rift town of Eldoret. Something really sad, something very disturbing. Images of rioting mobs, of young men and women looting a supermarket. Those are very disturbing images. I make a direct appeal to the people of this country that however bad the situation is, however difficult things get, whatever beatings you get from whatever quarter, please do not go in that direction. The direction of riots, looting, demonstrations is a dangerous direction. This country is at a spot when such a things could easily get out of control. No matter how painful the thing you've gone through is, no matter what the treatment you get from the authorities, dear Kenyans, let's not go in that direction. I know it is possible to feel that things are out of control, that things are unbearable, that if you are a hawker in this country, that despite the promises made, you are still on your own and you continue experiencing harassment. That despite the promises made, some of you are having their structures demolished. No matter how painful it is to listen to your ministers, including Honorable Moses Kuria, telling you that since there are many things that expose you to danger in this country, that since anyway there are so many things from which you will die as Kenyans, they're going to pump GMO into you. They're going to import GMOs. That even if you die from GMOs, what is different? You are anyway dying from other things. Not to mention that a lot of the things that kill us in this country are sanctioned by government, for example. If government closes both eyes to let people import dangerous foods in this country, expired goods, then indeed Moses Kuria is right, that there are many things that can kill us. Substances to kill us abound, that our young men and women are exposed to drugs peddled by people well known by government, and they are left to perish. The second generation alcohol is killing our children, and government doesn't seem to care. So Moses Kuria is right, that there's so much hunger in this country that Kenyans are dying from hunger in the 21st century. So Moses Kuria is right, that the recklessness on our roads is sanctioned by government for not doing that which can be done, should be done. That surviving on our roads is a grace of God, is by grace of God. So Moses Kuria is right, that the things that kill us on a daily basis, that cancer has been allowed to get out of control. So Moses Kuria is right, that money meant for the sick, including the cancer scandal, is stolen by the billionaire class, by our leaders. So Moses Kuria is right. We will die as our leaders watch. Nay, they will supervise our death. Moses Kuria is right. But I appeal to you, dear Kenyans. This is your country. This country belongs to you more than Moses Kuria. When Moses Kuria used an electric blanket, something you and I don't know, we don't know what it is, and he got injured, we sympathized with him. We prayed for him. But he didn't go to Kenyatta National Hospital. He was in Dubai.
Starting next week on Lucy Warriors Network.
One of the challenges being loneliness, and it's not your fault as a son or a daughter.
No.
It's not also your fault. It comes a time when you are left alone, especially for the single mothers or single fathers. Your kids have gone out to their lives. Even if you send me money and I'm still lonely, there's a difference between being lonely and alone. You may not even be alone, but you're lonely.
Conversations on the aged aging with solutions to their challenges for their welfare gain.
The government must provide age-related services. For example, why should an old person of 80 years share a ward bed with a 20-year-old boy, or a 80-year-old lady with a 20-year-old lady sharing a bed, leave alone a ward
In the hospital.
in the hospital? So we are saying from now onwards, the government and the county governments must provide what you call geriatric wards. If you go to a hospital, it is a hospital for old ladies only, old men only.
It's becoming difficult for an old person to live in this city. You will not live in this city if you are beyond 60. Because everywhere you go, everybody's young, you are the only one. And you enter Matatu, the music's loud, nobody respects you, you feel you don't belong here. You, like me, I'm active on Twitter, they think you are supporting Raila, and then they tell you funny things on Twitter.
Raw and uncensored.
We need to be candid about this. We need to discuss, because actually aging starts from the day you are born. You may think you are young, but you're still aging. Aging. Yes, you are aging.
I never thought of it that way. So everyone is aging, but
Everyone is aging. We will be discussing about everything. So this is not about just the older people to listen or the aging people, because I said aging, everyone is aging.
Since you're born,
you need to know what would happen to you, what happens as you continue aging, because you don't know. You are 20 now or 30. You don't know what happens when you become 30, when you become 50, when you get married, when you have grandkids. What happens?
Make sure you subscribe to Lucy Warriors Network for engaging conversations.
No matter how bad the situation is, you can't pay rent for your houses, even if those houses be in Kibra. If we are to call those houses. You can't send children to school. You watch as loved ones die. Yet government allows people to steal billions of shillings. We were told of state capture. We expected heads would have rolled by now. Nothing has happened. But please, dear Kenyans, don't take law into your own hands. I say this with a heavy heart, because I know these are dangerous times. If something like that happened in Eldoret were to happen in Nairobi, it could spill over into something that we could all regret. My appeal to dear Kenyans. Recently I made an appeal to police, and I've repeated the same appeal in a video. That Raila is well protected, well guarded. He has security. Dito Ruto, they have security, well guarded, well protected. So even if they make the situation bad, I appeal to our fellow policemen, don't abandon us. Don't abandon your brothers and sisters, your mothers and fathers and children, because politicians are playing games with security. Don't. I appeal to you. Today I make this appeal to Kenyans. No matter how hard you are pushed, because these times are dangerous, no matter how reckless your ministers are, no matter how many Moses Kurias we have in this country, in cabinet and leadership positions, no matter what the minister tells you, that you can be killed on the streets as he gives drugs 1 month. No matter how bad things look, let's keep our country. This is all we have. You and I. This is all we have. If things got out of control, we have nowhere to go. So to the young men and women, whether they were street children or hawkers, whoever they were, whoever they are, whoever they may be, whoever you may be, when situations are attempting to send you into a shop to loot, think twice. Because that seemingly simple thing can set the country on fire. I appeal to you. I watched the images from Eldoret and I became a very worried man. Those of us who care for this country, those of us who love this country, we know things of that nature. If somebody had treated the hawkers badly, the street children, it happened in Tunisia, the Arab Springs. Kanjo, a scary, slapped a hawker, and the country was on fire. We don't want to go in that direction. I beg you, on this Saturday, I beg you from the bottom of my heart, dear Kenyans, just like I've asked the police, don't abandon us because politicians are playing games with you. As we try to push the leadership into understanding and knowing that security is not a place where you take your games, where you take your politics. Leave that to us, to push them, to remind them, even warn them, advise them. Leave that to us. But you guard your fellow citizens, your brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers and children. In like manner, I ask the citizens of this country, I know this particular time, it is difficult being a Kenyan. I know how difficult it is. I know how hard the times are. I know how scarce money in this country has become. I know how difficult it is to get gainful employment, to get a job, to be employed. I know all these things. But we pray to God as we push our leaders into changing the situation. We will push our leaders. We will talk. We will advise them. We will be tough on them. We will be hard on them. We will ask President Ruto, please sack people like Moses Kuria. We will ask him. We will even cry. We will go on our knees and pray to God to save us from people like Moses Kuria, who tell us, since anyway we are dying from all manner of things, most of them made possible by a government that doesn't care over the years, then they will give us GMOs to die. A cabinet minister will pray to God to save us from such. We will also pray to God to touch our president, William Samoei Ruto, to have mercy on us, to save us from this. How can you have a cabinet minister saying this? And he's not alone. But even with all this, I urge you, my dear brothers and sisters, I urge you, and you can see I'm pained. Let's not go in that direction. This country belongs to you and I. In a way, it cannot belong to Ruto and Raila. No. This country belongs to you and I, who is watching me. In a way, it cannot belong to those two. This country belongs to my children and your children. In a way, it can never belong to Ruto's children, to Raila's children. Those who will take the first plane, ndege ya kwanza wataenda. You and I will remain here. We must protect this country. Even as we tell our politicians, the sovereign will prevail finally. That what's good for this country will have to be good for this country. We will push for it, but we will not be reckless in the manner we do it. What I saw in Eldoret, or those spontaneous, not planned, maybe by street children, is dangerous. Because the people I saw entering that supermarket, not all of them were street children. I saw smartly dressed Kenyans. My advice to all of us, join me in loving this country. Always do whatever it is, despite the provocation from people like government ministers like Kuria. This is your country. It belongs to you and your children and your grandchildren. It doesn't belong to politicians. It doesn't belong to these leaders. We give them leadership knowing too well when things get bad, they are the first to leave the country. You and I will remain here. Make this place a place for your children to live in and your grandchildren by containing yourself even amidst great provocation.